Now there's one secret I know works really well. It helps you bypass many problems while trying to reach your marketing goals, and I'll share that with you at the end of the video. Digital marketing problems and struggles you just might want to avoid in 2019. Well, I have a list of them and some ideas that might help you avoid these problems in the new year. Welcome to the channel. My name is Rosh. This channel is all about finding your USC, unique success combination. Hey, we all want to find our success combination. That is our mission on this channel, and part of growing our businesses and finding our success in life is getting the word out and letting people know that we have these great products and services that solve other people's problems. But sometimes we run into a few problems here and there that we want to try to avoid. So I'm going to share with you some of those ideas in this video so we can have a successful 2019. One thing we can do to avoid a number of problems in the new year is to understand our audience and how to segment our audiences. You know, as a small business person or a salesperson, we can smell a new customer a mile away. We know who they are. We understand the persona. We see somebody across the room. We say, you know, that person, for some reason, you just know is going to be a good customer. It's just an instinct that we have. But the thing is, not everybody fits into a box, and we need to learn how to segment our marketing lists, our email lists, so we send the right messages to the right people. That will make our marketing, especially email marketing, much more effective. Speaking of emails, one thing I highly recommend you do is make sure somebody proofs your work. You know, there is nothing worse than sending out an email, and you have done it, sent out an email with the wrong date, the wrong location, or the wrong link to your product or service. The thing is, having somebody review your work is going to save you a lot of time, a lot of pain, and a lot of problems in 2019. Some of us are considering influencer marketing in the new year. It's a big deal, and some of us want to be influencers. I guess that's kind of what I do on this channel as I share ideas here on YouTube and on other social media platforms. I'm developing myself as an expert in my industry and on this platform. And sometimes we go a little bit too big. You know, you don't have to dominate the world when you start off. Chances are, most of your business is local. So what I highly recommend you do is develop yourself as the expert locally. And there are a number of things you can do, such as speak to groups locally or use your LinkedIn page. I think LinkedIn is excellent to develop your voice, especially if you're just focusing on connecting with people who you actually know on LinkedIn. So if you meet somebody at a networking group, let them know you're on LinkedIn, and you can continuously share ideas with those people passively through that powerful platform. So a big problem you want to avoid is to go too big too soon, because it's going to burn you out. Trying to take over the world is a lot of work. So try a smaller geographical area first and build out from there. Speaking of doing too much too fast, one thing I recommend is that you start with one social media channel, such as YouTube or Twitter or Instagram, and develop your expertise in following there first. And after you get some traction, then add other social media platforms. One of the things that happens, and one of the big problems people have, is to think that they have to be everywhere all the time at once. And hey, maybe that's the ultimate goal. But for many of us, there's just one of us. So if we want to get far, we need to make sure we're successful on one platform before we can be successful on other platforms. One big problem people have in marketing, especially small business people and independent professionals, is that they just don't have the budget to market. And you know what? You either have money or time. So you can use your time to develop influence, and as you start to have less and less time because you're finding success, you can then transfer to the money portion and start to develop even more inroads by paying, by advertising in social media and Google. So don't worry about it in the beginning that you don't have a huge budget. The fact is, most of us don't. It's okay. You're going to work your way up there. Use your time effectively. but make sure you have a budget that's going to make a difference. A big problem people often will have is they're going to say, well, I have $50 or $500 and I'm just going to try it once and see if it works. Put into some Twitter ads or YouTube ads or Facebook ads or Instagram ads for $50 for a week and see what happens. I'll tell you what happens. Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube just made $50 and really didn't get you much of anything. So I recommend you make sure you have a real budget, at least $1,000 a month that you can actually apply month after month. If you're going to advertise well on these social platforms, on Google, you need to do it right. Don't test with small amounts that chances are not going to provide the return that you are expecting. One problem to avoid is to think that you have to continuously create new content for your blog or website. Yes, creating new content is valuable when you have something new to share. But it used to be you would create a new blog post every day or every week, and you may create a website and upload everything and you're done. There's no more done anymore. Today, it's better to create 20 or 30 really good blog posts rather than a new one every single day. Because chances are you could have 100 or 1,000 blog posts over time, but there are only 20 or 30 or 50 blog posts that are really providing you opportunities and leads. So rather than continuously creating small pieces of content, continue to build and make better the good pieces of content that are working for you. So if you have a 500-word blog post, make it 1,000 and then later increase it to 2,000 and continue to massage it. Add videos, add photographs, make it better than the competition. And when it comes to your website, it's not about launching it once and just letting it go. You need to continuously update and improve the pages on your website. Yes, create more pages when you have another opportunity to do so, but other than that, you want to continuously test the headlines to see which headline will actually encourage people to ask for more information or fill out a form or download your ebook. Any page that has a good call to action, you want to test the calls to action. And you can use Google Optimize to A/B test those pages to see which ones are more effective. So by the end of next year, by 2020, you have a machine, a great tool, your website making money for you. One big problem I still see is in social media. Brands, professionals, marketers, people are still taking the social out of social media. Social media is a social platform, and if you want to get anywhere, make any headway within social media, you need to participate in the social aspect of social media. You need to connect with people, build relationships, champion others, retweet other people's stuff, share their work, let them know that you find them valuable, and people will do the same for you. In other words, work together. My biggest inroads in social media has always been when I've partnered with other people and worked with other people within my industry or topics that I appreciate or within my niche. We all work together and support each other's channels. When you can do that and keep it a social network, you're going to find great gains in your social media. I recall talking to a marketing director and she shared the success of her latest campaign. She told me how many likes that she got and how many shares and comments and new subscribers to their blog, even retweets. A lot was going on. But the one question that I really had was how much new business did they get? So the real question, because the answer was just a blank stare, was that really a successful campaign? One of the best things you can do to avoid marketing problems and to meet your marketing goals is to actually have marketing goals. The great thing about marketing goals is that you can reverse engineer them to see if they're possible. For example, you may just decide that you're going to spend $2,000 a month on search engine marketing or social media advertising with a goal in mind. But is that a realistic amount? Is that how much you need to spend to reach your goals? What you need to do is reverse engineer that goal. See what the click-through rates and conversion rates are. Figure out what the averages are and how much you would actually need to spend to reach that goal. That is a better way of doing it, and that can avoid not only marketing problems, but marketing headaches. Now, in the case of that marketing director, maybe her goals were not to increase business, but to increase awareness of the company. And in that situation, she had a successful campaign. So what are some marketing problems you want to avoid in 2019? Put it in the comments below. One of my favorite marketing tactics is something an old salesman taught me years ago, and it's absolutely obvious, and we all know it, but we don't necessarily do it. He came into my store one day and he befriended me because he was also a salesperson. He was retired, but I was a young salesperson at the time, and he said to me, you know, one of the biggest things you need to understand is the sales secret. And I'm looking at him, what is the big sales secret? He says, it's simply this. It's what I call the old follow-up. And you might think that's rather obvious, follow up, but people do not follow up. And that is true most likely with your marketing. Follow up with your marketing. Follow up with the people who are interested in your product or service. See how they're doing. Check in on the people who didn't buy. Why didn't they buy? Maybe there's a little piece of information that you could share with them. There are a lot of ways in which we can follow up in marketing. And when we talk about marketing on this channel, we talk about developing awareness, traffic, and conversions, and retention. And one of the best ways to retain your customers in 2019 is to follow up. So are you good at following up? Yes or no? Put it in the comments below. Hey, if you found this video valuable, give it a thumbs up so other people know it's a valuable video. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified when I go live.